this is Star, and today I am being asked by one of our viewers about recreating the Blue Cat MB-7 mixer, if I get this correctly. What this thing does is it looks like it has a EQ that you have several bands and you can mess around with the bands. The frequency here, the slope is probably how much of the band it affects. And then it has its own settings for mixing within those bands. It'd be able to increase, decrease the volume, allows you to add and remove plugins, allows you to kind of pan and spread, add width and add this. And then it's got a master volume over here by the looks of it. Kind of pricey for this little plugin. And we're going to see if we can recreate it in Bitwig. Now, being probably a good company, a stand-up company, they have demos. So you can try the demo, play around with it, see if it works for the purpose that you need to. It looks like it only allows 5 instances of the session, and it looks like the effect is bypassed half a second every minute. So not too heinous of limitations for messing around with it and understanding what it's doing. But overall, I was reading the thing, and I'm going to see if I can deal with it. So things that we're trying to recreate in Bitwig are something that can separate the frequencies, or at least separate the frequencies. And then I think the intention was putting in plugins or creating stuff on each one of those separate frequencies. So not just going to high, mid, and low pass, because that would be easy. We have stuff to do that in Bitwig. We also have the frequency splitter that does that type of stuff. But I think the frequency splitter is still limited to 4. So the easiest answer was do a frequency split. So in this, here, let me turn this off. In this, I got something. I got that going as an example. And what realistically we want to do is we want to kind of split things. And so when we look at this frequency splitter, now we can split it, and then we can split what the highs and lows are. We have gains. We can do. I think this is crossfading, and then in these right here, we can stick our plugins. So if I want the lows to have, like, say, trash, which I have actually with here already, we can turn on trash. We can do the settings for trash. We can mess it up. And as you can see, only the low end is being sent to trash on here, because basically I have the red going to that plugin. So if you look and see that there's only the low end playing on there, or at least there's barely any low end. So if I was smart, I'd actually grab either the blue or the yellow. So let's move the trash to, let's say, like the yellow. And this gets 4 different bands, which is actually pretty cool. And then you can add trash on here. You can add, like, say, a delay at the bottom. Like, say, let's delay our low end, or our sub. Actually, let's just do it on the. So realistically, we have the blue taken up, so a lot of the blue frequency is going to be delayed. You're going to have replications and stuff with that. So frequency split can kind of replicate this tool here because you could put the tool in on each of them and say, and then on each of these you could put the tool and have your own set of volume, gain, pan, width, and your own mixing tools within those frequencies. So if let's go back to the blue, and then let's low down the volume. So you can kind of emulate the 4 bands of the 6 that they got right here and save you $129 for what a Bitwig upgrade would have been to be able to get the same kind of stuff that you want, because basically Bitwig has the tool that can alter the volume, the pan, the width, and those are in the same right here. The spread, the pan. There's the volume, and then you can add a compressor. I mean, we could add a compressor if we want on this chain. We're gonna do upwards compressing or downwards compressing, either before or after the effects on there. You get the idea. So the frequency split is a really powerful tool if you want to do kind of band stuff. I think the one and the only problems with this one is that you can't narrow the band. You can't actually do a whole lot of stuff with the narrowing. So let's think of some other ways that we can do that. So let's say remove frequency split, and delay plus got moved out. That's why we had a lot of issues. So I'm thinking we could also do this with an effects layer. Sorry, kind of being silly. And does it? We could carve out, like, say, a band out of this. There we go. And this gives us possibilities, and we can do kind of a notch. Nope, not a notch. What I'm thinking is possibly using something of a high pass, high cut, low cut to get to a what I would have called a notch, but apparently the notch, or a band pass. Sorry, we want a band pass filter. So we want something of the effect of like this, but on one we go, instead of a bell, we want kind of a high cut. No, we want a low cut on this guy. We want a high cut on this guy. And then what we could do is we could now add the delay. And then let's look at our spectrum analyzer to make sure that. So we want one outside, we want one inside. Because on the outside, we should see all the rest of the natural spectrum. And on the inside, we should only see the spectrum that we want to deal with. Ah. So you can see the difference. Like when it hits the low bass, it shows here, but it's not here because we cut the bass out. And we're only giving the delay the very narrow band of the spectrum. In fact, I need to. And then so on and so forth. You can actually copy and paste this and be able to kind of do this with each one of your different bands that you want. And instead of the delay here, we could do something like, let's do like a filter plus. Let's do something. And then let's give a tool so that we can pan. Sorry if the melody is getting old. Maybe we can add some drums or something into it, but if you notice that I'm playing around with the left and the right to be able to exaggerate the spectrums, and so you should only be hearing these two come across, one on the left, one on the right, one high, one low. And then what we could do is we could put like, say, I think we could do like a LFO here. And this would be kind of cool to be able to merge the panning. And then there you go. You got your highs, your lows. You got your panning on each of the different channels because I'm hearing highs going this way, highs going that way. If you don't want the overall stuff coming through, this layer up here is what's allowing everything to bypass so that you can actually hear all of the sounds together. But you could also equally mix that one differently. Of course, this is a bit annoying to do where you don't have it all in one interface and you have to swap between the different things. So like it depends on it. This will allow as many bands as that you can get in the FX layer and as many bands as you want. So that gives you a lot more freedom. The last and final one that comes to mind is there should be the there's the mid side, no. Multi-band. There we go. Multi-pass. For really, really, really simplistic 3 bands, you can do the same thing here. This one will give you the low, the medium, and the high. You allow plugins for each of the bands, and you can sit there and you can mess around with exactly how much the bands are affected. And then you get the mixer. You can mess around with that one. This one's old school. You can put like the upwards compressors in there, and you got your upwards compression, multi-band, multi-compressor. So this was the old school way of doing it until the frequency split came out. This allows 3, frequency split allows 4, and then the layers will allow pretty much unlimited band frequencies that you want. Overall, though, it could get you closer to this depending on what you're trying to go for. So hopefully this answers the question. It may be a little kind of do-it-yourself-ish, a little amateurish, but it should theoretically get the job done for what you're looking for within what the description says without actually playing with the plugin itself. Now, if I'm missing stuff, I apologize. It happens. But from what I'm reading and what I'm gathering, the whole purpose of this is just to split and then be able to do certain things along with the frequencies, which is kind of a cool concept. But I don't know about paying $129 for that type of freedom when you can realistically get the same type of stuff in Bitwig with a little extra work and a little extra patience and thought. Though there's also, there could always be a grid version of this. These are stuff off the top of my head of the things that you gotta do that's actually a really quick hit on there. The grid could probably get a lot better frequency response-wise, but not probably as pretty as like using EQ Plus or something. So take with what you will. Hopefully that this was interesting enough to watch it this long. If not, sorry. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will catch you later.